Okay, so in this lesson we're going to be talking about masking fluid. And there's a lot of different kinds. Some have a color or a tint to them. This one is Colorless by Winsor and Newton. And it's essentially like a latex that when it dries, it acts as a water barrier. So you're going to need a crappy brush. Do not use one of your good brushes for this step. Alright, so you will need your crappy brush, some masking fluid, and some soap. I find that bar soap works better than liquid soap. So let's just get right into it. First thing you want to do is wet your brush and then dry it off a little bit. Just tap off the excess and then get some clean water. And essentially you're lathering the soap onto your brush. And then I just wipe the excess off with my fingers. And once the brush is coated thoroughly in soap, that's when I get to my masking fluid. Do not shake your masking fluid. If you do, it gets completely full of bubbles. And then it's extremely difficult to get out, and it then dries all around the inside of the bottle and just turns into a hot mess. So you're gonna need a fairly small brush for this, and I'm using the corner of the brush to kind of drag a little bit of it out and into the feathers. And I'm gonna leave it up to you whether you want to cover the whole bird or just do about a ½ inch all the way around. Kind of whatever you're comfortable with. But just remember, wherever you have this, it's going to create a hard line. And you don't want to put too much on at once because that will stop it from drying properly. Another thing to keep in mind, in my experience, masking fluid is amazing at removing graphite. So if you did a pencil sketch and you want to keep your lines, masking fluid may not be the best option for you. At least the masking fluid that I have will completely remove all of my graphite line work. Okay, so I'm going to mask out the little feet, and I'm probably going to do the branch as well, just to make things really easy. Again, if this seems excessive to you, don't worry about it. You don't have to use masking fluid. It's just an option. Again, if you don't have masking fluid, it's okay. You're just going to have to be a little bit more careful and paint around the bird and the branch when we do the background. Now, while I'm being careful with this, you don't want to take forever because it will dry in the container and we don't want our masking fluid to dry out. Very carefully doing the beak, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest. And if you are actually covering your whole bird, you want to try and be thorough with this, because any areas that you miss, and then if you paint over it, will be pigmented. Awesome. Okay, and we're all done with our masking fluid. Now we just need to wait a few minutes for this to dry. It dries pretty quick. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. I would not recommend speeding the process up with a hairdryer. I don't know what kind of impact that will have on the adhering of the masking fluid to your paper. You definitely want to clean your brush off right away, and we don't want to start painting until we know for sure that the masking fluid is dry. And once that's dry, we can move on to painting in the background.